Hey everyone, so got another Lego review for you today. This one is fresh out the gates, as it were. Came out literally today. It is Jurassic Park, the Velociraptor Chase, set number 75932. Retails in the UK for £44.99, so it's a little bit on the pricey side, in my opinion there. To be honest with you, I thought, based on some of the stuff that we'd seen with the usually you get like kind of the dollar pricing, that was about $45, so I think the actual price point should have been more towards the kind of the £30-35 mark, and for some reason it stayed around 45, so I'm a little bit shocked by how much it is. However, as you can see, it's a bit of a nostalgia trip, so maybe you're paying a little bit extra just for the fact that it is the 25th anniversary set. It's part of the Jurassic World line, so you're getting all the other Jurassic World sets out there, like the Carnotaurus escape with the gyrosphere from the trailer. You get the T-Rex who's bolted down in the back of the truck. There was the Dilophosaurus with some gates, and a nice cheap and cheery Pteranodon one as well, which is basically a rehash of the one that they did for the first Jurassic World movie. They've also done a big mansion set as well, which I wasn't too keen on, to be honest with you, when I was looking at it. It was also quite expensive. I'm a bit fed up of seeing these fronts of buildings that are kind of only about an inch deep, but don't actually have much in them inside, and then just loads of minifigures. You know, I'd rather have a set that's a little bit smaller, a bit squarer maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm a sucker for vehicles and things anyway. I'd much rather have a big vehicle rather than a front of a building or something like that, like a playset. But you know, there is a target audience for this, and I'm sure it's not middle-aged men collecting minifigures, but all the same. So here is the Jurassic Park Velociraptor Chase. Actually, as you can see, it's a bit of a mishmash of scenes from the original Jurassic Park movie. So you get a bit of the kitchen scene there. So you've got some of the jelly. And some pots and pans, so that's the bit where the kind of raptor was jumping on the kitchen counters. Really cool. You've also got the incubation embryo chamber as well, the cold storage. There's even a tiny little canister there. It would have been cute to see a Barbasol logo on it, but I imagine for copyright reasons they probably couldn't. But it's really cool, you know what that is. Some ladders as well for the bit when they're crawling across the ceiling and the raptor's poking his head through. And there's the control room as well. So you get the tiny little Dennis Nedry there going, I think it even actually says it on the screen, which is really cute. And some good stickers. There's a lot of stickers in this, actually, with the stickers there. I imagine that on the window pane's a sticker. That's certainly a sticker, that poster on the wall. So there's a lot of stuff. Also, there's quite a few minifigures as well. There's 4 minifigures, or technically speaking, 2 minifigures, 2 children minifigures with the short, stumpy legs, and a big dinosaur. So a lot of stuff in it for £45, so I guess I can't complain too much. It's just, it was a bit of a shock seeing it that much when I was expecting it to be about 30 quid. Flipping it over onto the back, you've got another view there. This is the reverse of what you see on the front of it, so you get more of an action scene kind of behind here where the embryo chamber is, where you can pop your little step ladder up, and there's also the kitchen. So you've got a few cool little bits and pieces here. You've got a sausage, a chocolate bar. I don't know if that's the same embryo kind of container or if it's another one, but you know, more would be cool. They always like to throw in some extras in this. Keep looking on here as well. You've got a pile of the jelly, and there's also a spoon that comes with it too, so you can actually put a blob of the brick jelly in a spoon and give it little licks there, just in the bottom corner. That's quite cool. There's also some cupboards which you can pop the kids into to replicate that scene where the raptor's bashing his head against the side of the reflection. The glass panel pops out, so the whole thing is it's designed, as you remember from the beginning, there's a big bolt here where it looks like it's a play feature across the bottom. And what happens is you press that across and it locks the door when, you know, Alan's fought the raptor out, and then the raptor decides to just smash through the window instead. But really, really cool. I've waited quite a while for this, and to be honest with you, I was sat refreshing the website, hoping that it would come up for pre-order or something for quite some time, and then last night I heard that it was going to be released today, so I was sat up until midnight, 1 AM in the morning, refreshing the website, and the website kind of loaded it, but didn't bring anything for actually on sale to add to your kind of cart or anything. But there was like placeholders there. It looked like it came active at some point during the night, because when I woke up this morning, it was ready to buy. Went to work, finished work, ran straight to the Lego store and bought this after I'd finished. So I think in terms of before people who've got the kind of the early releases and the things like that of it, this is available now to you if you want to go get one as of today. But I'll crack it open. It is completely sealed, so my first reaction will be what I give you now, because we'll be opening it together. Okay, I'll crack open the box and I'll pull the bits out. So with everything taken out of the box, this is the first time I'm looking at it. By the way, I've literally just opened the box and popped it out on the side here. There's actually quite a lot of stuff inside it. The actual parts listing only says there's 360 pieces, so in terms of price point, again, I feel like it is 10 quid over what it should be, but when you open it, you do feel like, or I'm certainly feeling like myself, that I've got a lot more value for the money of what I initially thought fit into that small box. So for a start, we've got 2 manuals, so you get part 1 and part 2. They're just down there. They're relatively thick. First one's quite flimsy, second one's a little bit thicker. Inside each one, so you get your first one, it teaches you how to build the Velociraptor, Little Tim and Alan, and the corner just, it looks like, of the actual control room, so nothing else really. Just the Velociraptor and that main door with the kind of security deadbolt on it. Get through, yeah, that as I thought, the window section is a sticker as well. And that ends there, so a bit of an odd point, I guess, to finish it, but that's your first book. The second one, I would assume, gives you the rest of the building there with the kitchen attached to it. Also, the extension there to put the embryo chamber in, and 2 minifigures left to build, which is Ellie and I totally forgot Lex. There you go. So that's those. Typical, if you've seen one of these dinosaurs before from a previous Jurassic World set, or from one of the Dino Explorers they did from a fair few years ago now, these are the pre-bagged dinosaurs that will come all kind of separate backpack. Really cool, keeps the pieces all nice. It's the same as what they do with all the big things. But nice Velociraptor there. Some really good print work on his face. When I've got it built, we'll have a good look in depth at the actual figures and things when they're finished. Out of packaging, we've got these 3 Technic long bricks. Maybe that they deemed them too long to stick inside a bag, but they were just rattling around loose in there. So that's a bit interesting. They don't normally do that. 3 bags, so stage 1 is your first book's worth of stuff, and then bags 2 and 3, they're in your second book. You also get a sheet of stickers, which, like I said, there's quite a few to see. It's not the most expensive of kits, and there you go, there's your little Dennis Nedry with his that's hilarious. I'd love to get that as a minifigure. I don't know, all the kind of the usual branded stuff like the Jurassic Park logo, and a map of Isla Nublar as well, which is really cool. So that's really awesome. I'm going to get it built up, and then we'll have a bit more of a talk about it when it's completed. Alright, I'll be back to you shortly. So here we've got the completed set. To be honest, for say it was only 360 or so pieces, it's actually quite a substantial amount here. I didn't really think it'd be all up to that much. When we saw it in the store, it did seem to look quite small, and I was a little bit disappointed, having been so excited obviously to go and get it. So overall build time probably took best part of 2 hours to put together, so it's quite an intensive build. I feel a little bit more kind of comfortable in how much I paid for it, having seen the final result. So let's have a look at some of the figures. First up, we've got the Velociraptor. Pretty much the same standard Velociraptor sculpt that we've had for the previous Jurassic World and the kind of dinosaur sets that we've already had. It's got a posable jaw, posable arm, posable legs, and a rotating head that's held in place with a little black Technic pin. really quite cool. I do really like the paint job as well. It's more kind of retrospective to the original, and more true to the original colour scheme of the old Velociraptors. He also looks a little bit meaner compared to some of the Jurassic World ones we had. It might just because he's in this colour scheme, but the green ones that we've had, and like the blue, obviously, that we had for like the Jurassic World ones didn't quite look as aggressive. So he looks quite menacing. So I do really like that. I would have quite liked to have got a set of 2 maybe, because there were 2 in the kitchen scene, but getting 1. These dinosaurs do seem to kind of pump up the price point a little bit, so we might have ended up having to pay an extra £10 if we'd have got 2 dinosaurs in this set. They also don't seem to be wanting to do that in any of them really, apart from that big mansion set. So I think you're limited usually to 1 dinosaur per pack. We've got Ellie, and we've also got Dr. Grant. Dr. Grant comes with a standard hairpiece, his little smirk. What I do really like about him is he's got kind of little wrinkles and stuff on his face. I don't know if you can see him that well. Let's see if I can focus. Yeah, little wrinkles and things, and like a little mole on his cheek as well. That's really nice. Really good Lego interpretation of Sam Neill. He doesn't have a back of his face printed on there, but the print on his kind of outfit, he doesn't have any leg print either, but his torso print's really nice. And on the back as well, he's got kind of ruffles in his shirt. He also comes with his trademark hat that he wears quite early on. He doesn't really have it, towards the end of the film, but really nice. It would be quite sweet to kind of find some means of having him so he could carry it. But that's Dr. Grant. We've got Ellie here. Ellie's got leg print, which is really sweet, because you've got the double print on her trousers where you've got like all the different colours, and her legs and like socks and boots showing, and front and back print, double print on the legs, and again like a ruffled shirt. Ellie also has this hair sculpt, which is recycled from quite a few times now, but she's got 2 faces. She's got kind of a little smirk there, and also that panicky face there. And to be honest with you, that looks spot on. That looks a lot like her in the film, in terms of a Lego figure anyway. Then we've got the kids. So both the kids here. It's a little bit of a shame that the Lex is a little bit kind of on the short side, along with Tim. Could really have gotten away with kind of Lex being the same height as one of the adult characters. But anyway, it's not the end of the world. So they've both got the stubby little legs. They've both got double-sided print on the torso, but because they've got the little short legs, they don't have any print on them. They do, however, have dual faces, so happy face and a scared face for Tim. And on Lex, she's got a scared face there and a happy face there too. So, quite nice. I do again like the little attention to detail. Like she's got little freckles on her cheek on the print as well. It's just a little extra kind of effort that they've put into painting them. So we'll move the figures out of the way, and we'll actually have a look at the completed set and some of the features that's got. So first things first, in terms of kind of little bits and pieces that you get with the set, there is a stud shooter, and you get quite a few trans studs to fire as well. Alan's supposed to have this in his hand. If you look in the box, you see him kind of holding the door open with this is in his other hand. I would have preferred one of the kind of just moulded plastic Star Wars blasters we had, because it's more like a shotgun he has in the film. But that's just a little something. I'm probably just going to stick it back in the box now I've built it, to be honest. I've got another one of the kind of rifle type things that I can use instead. Also comes with a ladder, which is really quite nice again. Comes with one of the little droid arms there that you can fold up. You can fold the ladder up if you wanted to, or you can kind of ratchet it back and peg it closed. You can have it more of a for that escape scene when they're climbing through all the kind of the ductwork in the ceiling. But that's another nice little accessory. Then we've got the actual set itself. There were quite a few stickers on here, as I mentioned before. This one's a really cool little map. That was an absolute pain to put in there, into the window pane, if you'll pardon the joke. It was a nightmare to try and align that up, because not only are you trying to get it centralised in there, you're also trying to make so that the circle with the T-Rex head kind of aligns properly. But a bit of jigger and pokery, a bit of pulling it off and putting it back on a couple of times, got it nice and centralised, or as best as we could anyway. Some of the computer screens got stickers on them as well, as you saw. This is a printed brick of the keyboard, and printed brick here as well on the little telephone, and there was also another printed brick over here in the kitchen in the form of a little chocolate bar that just goes on the side of the kitchen counter. This is also a sticker. Sorry, the kind of hazard stripe. No, sorry, it's not a sticker. Sorry, that is a printed brick. Sorry, the danger bar here is the sticker, as is this one that's on the floor. So this rotates for a start. You do get one little canister. I thought you might have got two, but you only get one. Nice little scene. I would have quite liked. They've done little dinosaur sculpts that are kind of one stud, like minifigs to go on things. They've done like a kind of baby raptor and a baby blue. Would have been really nice to get a baby raptor to put in here, because obviously that scene that you get at the beginning where Alan kind of an egg hatches in the palm of his hand and he asks what it is, and it's a raptor. So that's one of the kind of things that I feel like maybe would have just enhanced it slightly, having not got a second raptor in the set. Back onto kind of the main bit here. If you look just on this side, just throwing some loose components around, you do get kind of the steps out of the incubation chamber up into here. There's a security camera, which is quite sweet, just pivots, and these little door handles as well, and you'll notice that the door doesn't open. Coming around, you'll see that it's part connected to this little red notch here, and what you do is you pull on it and it releases the bar, and there you go, the door can kind of swing freely. The idea is that Lex is sat here hacking away, Alan and Ellie are propping this door shut, and this Velociraptor is kind of smashing his head against the door trying to get in, and eventually they push the door closed, and Ellie hacks the doors and all the security systems, and it puts the bolt back on and it locks it, which is really cool. However, then what happens is we get to a cutscene where we see good old John Hammond sat there, and he hears some gunfire and a crash and some screaming, and what's actually happened is the Velociraptor has come through the ceiling, come through the window, sorry, and smashed the window in. And that's exactly kind of the little action feature here. It's just on two studs, it just slides in and it just pops in there. It's really quite nice, and it's really nice and snug as well, like without having a really obvious action feature where you see the window would smash through. You could leave it on there and be happy with it, but it is a nice little play feature. You've got a couple of bits and pieces in here, a lot of loose bricks on this, like a lot of loose little accessories that just pop into holes and things, so if you can hear me just dropping stuff, that's what it is. Telephone pegs off the wall, and then that's about it really. All the seat and everything moves, kind of a little swivel chair. Do quite like this little desk setup. It's quite nicely made. It does make it look a bit bigger, kind of heftier than just a normal one of those slope tiles with a print on it. So I quite like how they've built that. And then come around to the other side, which is the kitchen side. It is a little bit bare on the kitchen side. There's not much kind of in the way of anything. Got like a double layer effect. These are supposed to be the worktops. Bar of chocolate. This is the jelly from the bit where kind of Lex stood and she's shaking her hand with the spoon of green jelly in it. And there's a couple of spoons actually in the set. You get a spare and you get one that just clips in. Just look on the back side of it here with this pegs in on here, and you've got a cleaver, frying pan, and a couple of pots. And again, these things, I keep throwing these all over the place. They're really cool, the little hot dogs, but they're a pain without anywhere to clip into. There is also a little cupboard under here, which is openable from both sides, so you can pop the kids in. Make a little action scene where the raptor was trying to get in and he was ending up banging his head because he was chasing the reflection. But that's about it. It's really nice. To be honest with you, again, I'm still a little bit kind of disenchanted with the fact that it's a bit more expensive than what it should have been. But I'll get all the bits and pieces kind of put out I'll kind of set it all up as I'd like it to look when I've got it on a desk or something, and we'll get to final thoughts. So here is like kind of the final thing all displayed up. There's quite a lot of options with it again because it's basically 3 scenes in one. There's a lot you can do in terms of like display and things like that, which is quite cool. It kind of makes me wonder, to be honest, whether this set was actually intended as a Lego Ideas set. It would explain as well why there's a little bit of a steep curve on that price point. I know I keep getting back to it, but it does feel like it is a little bit overpriced, maybe by £5 or $10, however you want to slice it. It does feel like it's just a little bit on the high price point side. Normally, you kind of base things around, they're called 10 cents per brick mark. So if you're looking at 10 cents a brick, you'd be talking for this a 300 piece or 360 piece set around about £30. So I feel like maybe it was just a little bit kind of on the steep side, but really, really cool. Got Ellie here trying to climb the ladder, got Lex hacking away, and Alan's holding the door shut, assuming there's a raptor behind, and then we've got little Tim hiding in the cupboard there while the raptor is calling to his chums. So it's really cool. I can switch it around, you know, you could put the raptor here, you know, behind the door, maybe trying to get in, popping it open, and having a go, which would be quite cool. You can always pop Alan there, just trying to fight the raptor out. Really nice, a lot of converting, a lot of messing about you can do with it to set up a nice stage and a nice scene. In terms of what I'd give it really as a rating, I'd probably say, you know, out of 10, it's maybe a 7. It's quite high based on the merit of the fact of all that nostalgia factor in there, because it's a fantastic set. I mean, this is what I would again say is an Ideas set. I'd probably put this as just the Jurassic Park set, and that'd be done with it. And it's just by coincidence that we've got all the Jurassic World stuff coming out. Lego have already got the license from the previous Jurassic World run and the Jurassic Park game that they did, so they just threw it out with it. I probably wouldn't have begrudged it as much if it had been an Ideas set, but I think it's the fact that it came out with the other sets. Now the other sets, if you look at them, most of them are about 50-60 quid. The Carnotaurus Gyrosphere Battle and the T-Rex Truck Attack as well, they're £60. So for literally £15 more, you get a big dinosaur, big vehicle, you know, a bit of scenery as well. And it just feels like we've maybe not got enough in this and you're paying a little bit more for the nostalgia. But that's why, like I say, I've knocked a few points off it. If it had been in that realms of, like I say, about 35 quid, it would have been absolutely fantastic, and it would have been a solid 10 out of 10 for me. But that's really great. I really like it anyway. I'm happy that I've tracked one down. I can't see it selling out that fast, just because I don't think they've really advertised it being out. It's basically fresh on the heels of the release of all the new Star Wars Solo movie stuff, so I think people are maybe kind of a little bit inundated with all that right now, and the fact that because it's not an Ideas set, they don't get snapped up as quick. They also tend to have a bit more lifespan in terms of manufacturing too, so they get a lot more runs out of it. So you're likely to find that this stays available for quite some time. Most Lego stores are likely to have it. I know the one in Sheffield where I bought mine from this evening, they had shed tons. I mean, they were packed to the rafters with them. So I don't think there was a particular rush to go out and get it. That being said as well, it is a little bit steep. So it's not like the Tron bikes where people are buying them quite fast because they were of a reasonable price. Mid-year always has a bit of a slouch when it comes to bringing out merchandise and things, just because people at this time of year don't tend to have that much to kind of frit away on disposable things. Like Christmas and stuff is quite a way away mid-year. So you should be alright getting it. I do recommend it if you're into Jurassic Park, however. It's really, really nice. So, you know, let me know what you think. Drop a like, drop me a comment. And also, obviously, while you're here, if you're new, give me a subscribe as well. There's more to come. And hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.